Janusz, I want to take you back to, I think it was 2011, when a kid called Lucas Moura appeared on FIFA's Players to Watch list. Are we now seeing the best of Lucas Moura if he can get a regular game? He got the assist for Harry Kane's first, and then he scored the second as Spurs beat Crystal Palace 3-0.
Yeah, I think he's been I'm going to stop short of calling him a quiet hero, but I think there's a certain level that he doesn't go below. It's just that we're so used to talking about maybe Dele Alli. I'm not talking this season, but Harry Kane and Heung-Min Son, that we often forget how important he is. We remember that win against Ajax in the Champions League as well, where he was sensational. So I just think it's one of those players that in the past maybe nobody has given him that sort of recognition that the three aforementioned players were getting, right? So I think he kind of put his head down, always work hard, and I think he's very much a two-way player that can decide games, but certainly can work. So yeah, but I think we're paying a little bit more attention under Antonio Conte.
There's a phrase in the English capital about transport. You wait an eternity for one London bus, and then two come along in quick succession, a bit like Harry Kane goals. Great to see him back, bulging the old onion bag, as a former colleague of ours used to
say. Yeah, it's good for him. I think this is a story that's still developing, I think, and all due to Antonio Conte. I mean, just sensational. The guy is just a born winner. That's what it is. Yeah. Remember, I jokingly said way back when Manchester United were interested, and there were all kinds of mess with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I said that he would have fixed that in a week, all the problems outside, right? And he would have. I think it's their loss. It's Spurs' gain. That's no question about that. Has not lost in the Premier League yet. I think 5 wins and 2 draws, if my math is right on that one. Look, you and I know him very well from Serie A. I mean, he's a taskmaster, isn't he? He's going to bring that structure. He's going to bring that, fundamentals. And interestingly enough, everybody's been looking to get back to Pochettino's way, to high pressing and all that. You knew that this wasn't going to happen under Antonio Conte. He's very much comfortable in the counter-attacking game. And you know what? If you look at Heung-Min Son, if you look at Moura, and even Harry Kane, who's very capable of playing in that system, that's exactly what you're going to see. And that discipline and composure, it's gonna be there. And we see it week in and week out.
Let's talk about the formation. Today it was 3-4-2-1. He's got his 3 centre-backs, 2 players at wing-backs that love to bomb forward. Today it was Emerson Royal and also Sergi Reguilon. Also in midfield, with the guys holding, that allows for either a 3-4-3, a 3-4-1-2, a 3-4-2-1, which we saw today with Lucas Moura and Son in behind Harry Kane. It's similar to the kind of formation that he used at Inter, which was more a kind of Lautaro just playing off Lukaku, but he's got that extra attacker in here right now with Spurs.
He does, but I think first and foremost what he's done, he's invested in every player in that squad. Think about how well they play against Liverpool, right? I mean, Harry Winks was arguably the best player on the pitch, at least for Spurs, right? Off he goes, right? Dele Alli, who's had a pretty good game, off he goes. Ndombele, he changed the whole midfield. Højbjerg comes in and Skip, right? Both of them coming in. So he's rotated that. If I'm Harry Winks, I'm thinking to myself, well, how much better do I need to play to retain my place? So I think it's more that even he's mentioned Steven Bergwijn, right? I mean, that he needs time with him. He sees something in him, right? And he's paid back already some to Antonio Conte. So I think that's the most important thing, because if you remember, and I know you do from Inter days, I mean, you look at now with people in Inzaghi, they're a little bit freer. They've retained what Antonio Conte has built. They're smart enough and they've built on it. And Antonio Conte is just in the beginning of this rebuild of Spurs. And I think he's going to do just that. So, yeah, I think that back 3 that he always plays is very, very much flexible, isn't it? But the biggest point today is that the 3 front players scored. That's the key, really, in his system in particular. If it was Lautaro Martinez at Inter or if it was Lukaku, right? Those are key players. And today, Son, Lucas Moura, and Harry Kane scored.
Normally, we try and talk pretty much the same about the opposition, the same amount of time as we do for the other side. There's not too much to talk about Palace today, is there? Because they're 2-0 down. They've already got Zaha on a yellow card. He gets sent off, 8 minutes before half-time? And it was damage limitation after that, wasn't it?
It was silly because we've seen Zaha do that again, right? I mean, the first one was on the softer side. The second one, there's absolutely zero excuse. I think he's lucky that Patrick Vieira was not on the sideline. I'm not sure if he's looking forward to a conversation about that, because I think he made it all that much difficult, because there was a moment in time there for 10, 15 minutes where I think Palace were coming into that game. Now, with Zaha, maybe, the faith would have been the same for them, but we know that Crystal Palace are different. They're capable of scoring at any given moment, and they certainly have the players. So that really was silly from a leader like Wilfried Zaha.
And that's enough about Palace today. This was Spurs Day, and as Janusz quite rightly mentioned, the front three all among the goals. And as we headed to bed on Christmas Day, on the evening of Christmas Day, there was some talk that Spurs against Palace might be postponed due to COVID cases at the Selhurst Park club. Maybe it should have been Spurs 3, Palace 0.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.